You were sharing your story to share that with the world.
There was such a survivor in me that wanted to go, if I'm going out, then we are having a discussion with the world. I'm gonna let my last words be, I told on cancer.
You have to, please expand on Prince.
He's literally next to me. And I was like, oh. I obviously cursed when I first saw him. Is that I can't freaking believe, whatever I said. He said the cursing. And I was like, oh damn, oh. And I like swore 14 times after that because I was like, oh. Oh, good to see you too.
Great.
Can't believe it.
Make yourself comfortable,
well, thanks,
please.
Ted.
Sky Arts and St James's Place bring us together with the incredible Anastacia here at the world-famous Abbey Road Studios to explore the inspiration, the stories and the advice that have shaped her phenomenal journey. So great to have you here. Thank you so much.
Great to be here. Thanks.
Do you ever take a moment to reflect, to kind of look at what you've achieved?
Last year being the 25th anniversary was maybe when it was like, really? It kind of felt like, when people have a 25th wedding anniversary, it was my version of that kind of vibe. I was like, okay. And I'm still doing it. And I still love my songs. And so it really was like a praise to everyone that I've worked with and realizing that I definitely couldn't have gotten here by myself.
Was there a specific thing or a collection of things that started that journey in terms of the inspiration to want to be a performer?
I don't know that there is specifically something that got me to being a singer, but being on the certain TV show that got me actually noticed by all the record companies, that was the deal breaker to, oh my God, I'm signable? Like it was on camera, sort of me being me. And they're like, oh, we get it. And I was like, really? So that was the defining moment for me that life just changed.
Did you have a mentor at that point? Was there someone in particular who, I don't know, gave you advice or guided you, or was the person you could reach out to for advice?
I mean, my manager at the time believed in me and didn't want me to give up, really thought that I was a great singer and wanted me to just give it one more year. And I was 29 and it was like, oh, God, this is never, it just like passed, And then the TV show came up and it was a whole different world. It was from an unemployment check starting in like February or March. And then the TV show happened in like September. And so I was just like collecting my last unemployment check and going, I need a vocation. Like, I need a talent.
Come on now.
No, I'm completely honest, girl. I was not good in the school.
Those moments where kind of doors might not have opened in the way that you'd hoped, they all give you kind of strength and courage and resilience.
Sure.
To kind of go forward. And all those different experiences that you had along the way, working with other people, and the physical dance side of things, as well as the vocal side of things, those are all tools in your belt.
100%. I think I learned how my inner voice when I was doing like band gigs, which is like weddings, pubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it was discovering my voice then rather than necessarily recording with other producers because they would direct me. As I was doing that, then I actually wrote Not That Kind, and I was able to sound like me. There wasn't a me out there, so they were just sort of like, what? Do you have to wear the glasses? And I'm like, I can't see. I was like, this would be nice if you want me to walk across the stage. I was like,
It sounds like to start with, you were almost trying to find out what your voice was.
Yeah.
And then almost finding out what you wanted it to be rather than what other people wanted it to be.
I was always told I could sing, but it wasn't really something I wanted to do. But when I started dancing and enjoying music that way and learning, house music and sort of getting this idea of what music was in that way rather than musical theater or what my dad did, like the crooner type of music, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And I feel it in my body. Then producers were like, do you sing? And I'm like, I guess. Like, that's sort of how I came across, because I didn't ever think I would be a singer, like, on the stage. So it was not at all in my vortex until a producer was sort of like, do you sing? Like, it was in a club, too. So it was kind of like, he could have been a killer. He could have been, completely.
Thankfully, he wasn't. I almost think as well that sometimes experience can be the best advice giver in terms of sometimes you have to go through things
My
to
whole life.
walk away with the things that go, I'm going to take that or I'm
Love
not
it.
going to take that.
I love that part of life. And I think a lot of people fight that part of life and they want to control the moment, and you need to go with the moment. Even if you don't understand it,
Yeah.
it feels easier to go, like, at some point, is this going to get easier? But still just waiting for the time that it's going to go, aha. And all the moments do have aha.
And those moments as well, and I imagine that moment where you realise who you are as an artist, the Anastacia that we all know and love, and you go, was it immediate in terms of finding that and knowing that this is me, this is who I want to be as a performer?
My craziest, memory is seeing myself for the first time on TV on that show, because I'd never seen myself sing on a video. And I looked at myself and I said, that's weird. And then I got what people thought, I was like, oh yeah, that's why people are like listening to me sing and they're like, how did you get your voice? I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know why I sing the words like, I don't, why do I do that?
But it's so good to be different. It's so good to be your own thing and not to be like sounding like everybody else.
Agreed now.
Okay, but
the
at the time.
20-something-year-old Anastacia was like, I want to wear a dress. I want to have long legs. I want to be her. I want to be all the girls. I wanted to be Mariah. I wanted to be Celine. I wanted to be Janet Jackson. I wanted to be Madonna. I wanted to be all the ones. But I was like, oh, so not even close. Couldn't sing like any of them. So I was like, it's not going to happen.
Oh, come on. And then suddenly we have,
Yeah, baby, come on. Yeah, I know.
I'm Out of Love. I mean, I remember when that hit and it was like, whoa. I mean, what a tune, what a performance, and what an enduring piece of music.
Yeah, I still love it.
It's incredible still.
It's lovely to know that the first single isn't one that you're like, oh God, I'd love to sing my first single that y'all love so much. I would be upset if I didn't sing it as well as the audience. So I'd be like, oh, what do you mean you don't want to hear that?
What do you remember about that time?
Going down that path of it just not being a reality. Hitting 30 and not having a deal was like, what. It was kind of the end of the road for me to go, it's just done. No one's going to sign me, at this point. And then fourth quarter deal. Wow. Crazy. So it's a lovely story. And it's a story that is right time, right place.
You're everywhere and everybody immediately knows you. Do you suddenly have an influx of people kind of telling you what to do? You should do this, you should do that.
100%. After the first year, into the second, I started to get advice, shall we say.
Yeah. Who from?
Celine was a really good advice.
Dion, everybody, by the way.
Yeah, just saying. CC to me. So Celine Dion, and I would say Pavarotti. These two people gave me phenomenal advice on different levels. Celine more on, you don't have to let them work you. So crazy. The press they have you do back then was like 40 interviews a day, and sometimes you'd be in a few different countries. I would always sing live because I wanted to prove I actually sang. And she said, you don't have to anymore. And I was like, huh. No? And she's like, no. You can tell them when and what's going to work for you. That you're going to blow this out. And I was like, I like that. I didn't even know I could do that. I didn't know I could say what I wanted. And then Pavarotti, I asked him a very important question because I never knew it in the first year of my career, whether I was singing right. And he was like, oh, absolutely. And I said, I've never taken a singing lesson. He goes, don't think about it. It's like everything you're doing is natural. Of course, he didn't sound like me when he said it. It sounded really, really awesome. But he really just gave me the advice at where you're going. And he said, when you go to your belt, you go. And I was like, well, what does this mean? And he's like, just sort of, you bring it up. And I was like, I have no idea that I'm doing that. He's like, exactly. So don't think about what I'm saying. You are
Wow.
naturally doing, because you're repeating it. That's you. And I was like, okay, well, let's sing. You know, and then we sang a song together.
How amazing to have those two different perspectives.
100%.
You know, in terms of like a female artist who's kind of been there and passing that advice on to you,
Right.
and then someone on a kind of technical side of things as well.
That's where, like, the first year and the second year, they started, those kind of little moments started giving me power to go, okay, and start to have an inner voice on what I was or who I was. But still the industry was scary to me, and it was very self-conscious, you know?
And that also must have been great advice going forward in terms of, you know, the music side of things as well, in terms of what you wanted to write and what you wanted to sing and the types of artists you wanted to collaborate with. Yeah.
100%, hence, third album, Anastacia. Like, it really just speaks volumes of what every dot did.
Yeah.
And before I wrote Anastacia, I had breast cancer. So in that aspect, I grew into this artist that was going into her own music, finding her survivor, you know, being surrounded by Sharon Osbourne, Elton John. I was just like, everybody was like around me to make me feel empowered. So this album was Anastacia. I was much more confident in me as an artist by the third album.
There weren't a lot of artists who, you know, who were as famous as you, who at that time were being so honest about a cancer diagnosis.
Everything,
And that felt like you'd given so many other women a voice. You were sharing your story to share that with the world.
I didn't even think about what it would do. The only person that gave me a question was the doctor when I said, like, what you're telling me right now, I did not know. I did not know that 75% of every woman who gets breast cancer is not genetic. When I heard that, I was almost angry, frustrated, and I just felt like other people must not know if I didn't know.
Yeah.
And that was me wanting to be like, guess what? And he said, you know, I don't know if you want to do that. And I was like, why? And he's like, a lot of women feel like very vulnerable. And I get what he's talking about from my mastectomy. Like, I get that you have to try to become more of a woman, and I get that philosophy. But there was such a survivor in me that wanted to go, if I'm going out, then we are having a discussion with the world. And I'm gonna let my last words be, I told on cancer. You know, like, I just wanna be the one that is like, the secret's out. And I think it was just, it ended up being such a wonderful thing. And I speak about it a lot because it does matter. And it is
Totally.
younger these days. So it doesn't mean that when you get cancer, you're done for. It's a big, important thing to go get checked. And if you need to go with a mate, go with a mate. You know, you both have to deal with the smash and grab, go for it.
But I think that the choice you made to be so public and honest with your fans, and I think that that's testament to the relationship you have with your fans, is that it's always been kind of, there's no barrier, there's no wall. It's always been transparent.
Yeah, it's always, like my music is that way. You know, I always found that real stories were great to write, hence paid my dues.
Yeah.
Even got punched in the face in LA, true story. Before I wrote that song, I got knocked out at a club because two guys were fighting, and I turned and they hit my temple and out. When I woke up, I was like, I'm blind, but I didn't have my glasses on. So I was like, oh my God, I can't see. So then I came in with like a scratch on my eye, and they were like, he's like, do you mind talking about it? I'm like, this is freaking great. Yeah, I want to talk about that. That's awesome. So why not?
The experience of going through that first cancer diagnosis, did it change you as an artist, do you think?
I don't think the actual cancer changed. I think the outing of the cancer changed.
Yeah.
Because when I found out, I went into the hospital as Anastacia. And then the world news found out I had cancer, not understanding the stage, and said, would you like to make a statement? And I was like, I haven't even told my friends, it's freaking Friday. You're calling me Saturday. How do you know this?
Yeah.
And so it was really more, how dare you? So that was what, everything. Like Elton gave me power in a way that that outing gave me power to be like, no, I'm going to be a little tougher. And that's why I was so very protective of my second cancer. And I made that very clear. I went under another name. It was like, I was like, okay, we got to watch out for this. They're not going to get this
Yeah.
story.
That feeling of getting back on stage, though, after what you'd been through both times,
Yeah.
how did that feel?
I want to say the first time I actually got on stage, the first cancer, I believe it was 2004. And I did a breast cancer awareness TV show in America, and Dolly Parton, Heart. I had like a Survivor chick t-shirt made. I wore like a pink satin, super baby pink satin jacket. I felt in my zone, and I also sang an Aerosmith song, Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
Don't want to
and
close
that
my
was,
eyes.
Yeah.
Don't want to fall asleep because I miss you, baby.
You do? I miss you too. I have missed you.
Watching you as an artist and how much joy you still get out of performing
live.
Period.
And
life.
We're in real dark times, but you can concentrate on it. I have Crohn's disease still to this day. I take medicine. But it is what it is. I posted a really great post on my Instagram. Some people can't handle it, but it's okay because it still is something I support. And I always wore the stomach out, so my scar was right there. And it was like, what they're gonna see it. I've never hidden my scar from anyone. But when I did have the surgery at 13, I was like, I'm never gonna have a boyfriend. So I was like, oh my God, I have a scar from here to here. I can't wear a bikini. So it was a moment, but that changed.
I think that's why your audience are so dedicated to you, your fans are, because they know that you're not hiding anything. They know that you're like their mate, in terms of you feel so accessible and attainable, and watching you live as well. How did you find your place live in terms of finding that kind of safety and comfort on a live stage? Was it natural for you?
I do feel like it is. I don't get nervous only if I'm singing someone else's song. Then I'm like, I'm never gonna remember the words. I get like crazy freaked out that I'm gonna forget the lyrics.
Okay.
And I have even done that with my own songs. Just sort of like, if you can laugh at yourself, then it's just better to do that. I just think that trying to be this thing, I'm not this thing, even though videos and all those things can make it, it's kind of like the me that's inside is a goof, is a dork.
One of the brilliant things I think that about artists is when you see festival lineups as well, and the range of artists that you get on festival lineups. And when you think about the range of genres that you've embraced and worked on through across your numerous albums and your numerous repertoire, Isle of Wight Festival is a great example of a festival that has got so much history and credentials and really embraces lots of different genres of music. You've played Isle of Wight before.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that you're on a lineup that isn't the 80s or the rock set list, and like each artist is in your demographic. So I enjoy that part of, because really you notice that certain people move to the front when they're waiting for this person, and it's a homage.
Now, I believe in a previous Isle of Wight appearance, you ended up on stage with Mick Hucknall, is that right?
I did, and we hung out and sang a song together.
Perfect.
It's very, just what you do when you're chilling at the Isle of Wight. Just bouncing on stage with the Simply Red guy.
Who'd you like to go on stage with?
Oh, I would have loved to go on stage with Tina Turner. Like that would have sealed the deal for me. And maybe Barbra Streisand, but I don't think I could kick it with her. But she would be, like, I just want to know that she knows who I am.
How important is that to kind of make room for the unexpected and reacting to things as an artist?
I love that. That's the best part about being live, is just stuff happens. when I did Art on Ice, I went out on
That was
skates.
amazing, by the
I
way.
went out on the skates at the end and sang One Day in Your Life, and I was like, you know, and it was like, oh my God, I nearly fell over, but you need your arms. And I was like, but it was super fun. Like, I will say I've turned work into fun the older I've gotten too.
Now, you'll be happy to know that I have a short list of some quick fire questions for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sometimes I don't know if I know how to answer a question quickly.
We'll
It's very
see.
difficult.
We'll
It's
see.
very difficult. Okay.
Do you think artists today get too much advice or not enough?
I think it's just the artists today are in like the most saturated time of music, and also a time where they're least in control. Even your ownership of what you do for a living is kind of based around your live performances. I mean, AI is writing songs. It's really bonkers what's going on. So I can't even give advice because I'm like, I want a record store again.
Have fans ever told you a song felt like the advice they needed?
100%, 100%. Many, many fans. And that makes just such a beautiful difference to me. Yeah.
Most star-struck celebrity encounter of your career?
Prince. The story's great, but I can't tell it. Quick fire.
You have to, please expand on Prince.
So I was at an Elton John, Oscar party, and I'm in the VIP, and I turn, and I was like, oh my God. And he's there with his two twin girls.
Princess.
Yeah, the princettes. And so I'm having a moment with myself because I used to like want to make out to a lot of his album covers. And all of a sudden I get lost in who's on stage, and he's literally next to me. And I was like, oh. So I was like, you have to say something to him. I obviously cursed when I first saw him. Is that I can't freaking believe, you know, whatever I said. And he was just like, you should pray on that. And I was like, oh my God, he's so poetic. I don't know what he's saying. And I was like, he's so smart. It's way better. And he said, the cursing. And I was like, oh damn, oh. And I like swore 14 times after that because I was like, oh. And he was just like, great. But when I said, I'm Anastacia, he said, I know who you are. And then that was what made me lose it. Yeah.
Yeah, none
it
of
was
that.
like, whoopsie doodle. Yeah, and then he walked away. And I was like, ruined my career performing with Prince because I have a potty mouth.
Bye,
I'm fired.
Prince.
Bye. Bye, future career.
Bye, little Prince man.
I know, ruined it.
That's amazing.
You couldn't make it up.
What's the best piece of advice that Elton John's ever given you?
Oh, God, there's so many. Well, you know what he told me recently was that he never had a number one since like 78 or something. And then Dua Lipa was his first number one in like 20 years or 30 years.
Wow.
And he was like, it's just really nice to feel like I have a number one. I never thought I'd get one. You know, he doesn't need it.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel the same way where it's like, I don't need to be number one on the charts because they still play our music.
Yeah.
Is how we feel in that way. It's always nice. I'm not going to turn it down. But yeah.
Favorite and least favorite part of touring?
Least favorite is that I can't go out with the band and I can't party and enjoy the band because they have a freaking great time. But favorite part is being on stage and never knowing what's going to happen and just enjoying the journey with every single audience I have.
What are you most looking forward to for the rest of 2026?
Touring. Yeah, I'm touring all the year into probably October or November or something.
Song you wish you'd written?
Like so many Prince songs, so there you go. But I will Sting songs, like
Oh, wow.
so much poetry. Like I don't write poetry like that.
3 things you can't tour without.
My glasses, for sure. Now, my dog, my band. I mean, well, no, glam. Oh, God. I don't know. Like, do you want to see me without glam or do you want to see me a cappella? I'm like, those are very heavy, even situations.
We can
Can I
shift
have
this to
4?
4 things.
Thanks. Yeah.
You'll be glad to know that that's the end of the quick fire.
Oh my gosh, and I was so quick. I was the quickest ever fire. I'm fired, technically, from quick fire.
What is coming up for the rest of
What's coming up for me?
Yeah.
Actually, I am putting a symphonic album of my hits, and we've recorded it, and it is called Anastasia's Symphonic Revolution. We put 12 beautiful songs down with a 60-piece orchestra.
Whoa.
And yeah, the songs sound like they belong in a movie. It's crazy. And I want to tour it next year. Yeah, I want to bring it to cities and like just, it's kind of like music comes to visual. It's just a whole different thing when you have an orchestra. It's a whole different performance. You almost feel like you're listening to the song in 3D.
So do we get the album before the end of the year?
You do get the album before the end of the year.
Thank you so much for today.
It's over.
It's been so great
Oh my
catching
God,
up.
this has been great. Thank you very much.
Keep doing what you do because you bring so much joy to everybody. It's just wonderful to chat to you here as well at Abbey Road. Quite special.
Not bad digs, huh, kids?
Yeah. Anastacia, thank you so
very
much, everybody. Thank you.